Earning the gold medal in first position for senior large group street dance with a score of 95.7, entry number 20.
Hi, my kings and queens, welcome back. I know I've been MIA, missing in action, but guys, I've been very busy on my other channel based on a very interesting and trending topic that's been taking my time, right? And for today, I'm back. How many of you missed me, guys? See, the issue on this channel is not even giving me joy. Let me not lie. It's not giving me joy. It's not giving me the morale. It's not giving me the vibe, the energy, but in all, because of the love I have for you guys. See, outside the channel, I naturally have this love for South Africans, especially those of you, my amazing subscribers who have been with me here from day one. I can't imagine life without you. So that's why no matter how busy my schedule is, I will always come here to share with you what I have as current updates. Yes, and for today, guys, I've got interesting videos, so amazing one at that. First of all, I want to say massive congratulations to South Africans for winning the World Competition Dance Show, right? This was indeed a wonderful one. So I've put together that video based on reaction and analysis. And as well, one of my Ghanaian brother did something very interesting that I love the most. He said nothing but the bitter truth on what illegal foreigners have been doing to South Africans or doing in South Africa that I have constantly, if you are a part of this family, talked about, kicked against, lashed on. Like I've even got trolled, insulted, bullied as a result of standing up for this same bitter and brutal truth. But today I'm glad that this man, as a Ghanaian and Ghanaians in general, are seeing things now from your own perspective, because the recent issue between Ghana and Nigeria as a result of the kingship, Igbo king in Ghana, has been a thing that has really opened the eyes of Ghanaians, and they are like, South Africans, we are sorry, we didn't know that. This is what people have been complaining and dealing with Nigerians all along. Now we have seen and we now understand. Sorry. And you know, they fought and until they gained victory. Currently, the matter is dying down because the kings and the leaders of Ghana have said enough is enough. Like they don't want to get any such threat from anybody calling himself king. And this is the same thing they wanted to do in South Africa that I reacted to, right? So South Africans have finally once again been vindicated, right? Now other countries are beginning to see things from a different light, a different perspective, and they're like, we will begin to buy this idea and approach, attitude of South Africans very soon, especially the way Nigerians are misbehaving, you know, unaliving and doing things exactly the same way that they've been doing in South Africa all over the world. Now, it is now an eye-opener and a glaring fact that, yes, what South Africans have been shouting all along, the world has come to know. It has not started, though. This is just the beginning. So I've put together these videos for our own consumption based on reaction, analysis, education, and word exposition. Let's watch this video. Please do not forget to give your girl Tando a like, share, and stay subscribed so that at the end of the day, I will see you and I'll be right back.
Earning the gold medal in first position for senior large group street dance with a score of 95.7, entry number 20.
Grand South Africa won Dance World Cup. They won it, and so what? And so they won it yesterday, I know, and so what? And so freaking what? The thing that even pains me for this Dance World Cup is not even the fact that they won Dance World Cup. It's the fact that 1 week before winning this Dance World Cup, they won the Pan-African mathematics. They become the best mathematics nation in the whole of Africa. I knew about that one, also I decided to sit quiet. Yes, I sat quiet vehemently because I am tired. I have told you people before, I am tired of every single time lighting up my camera, pointing it on my handsome, sexy face, and commentation it about the fact that an enemy country of mine keeps on succeeding, even when I am struggling for them not to succeed. I'm struggling. You people know the heart attacks that people give me every single time.
God have mercy upon us.
Oh my God.
My country is going backwards. Your country is going forward. And you expect me to be jubilationing? 1,000 people tag me on that one video. 1,000 people. And if you are among the people who tag me in that video, if you're a woman, your nipples will disappear. Like you will get up tomorrow and your nipples will not be in your breast again. And if you're a man and you tag me in that video, let me show you something. Your cucumber that you have will turn into a needle. That's if your cucumber. That's if you have cucumber. If you are like me here who has a needle, I don't really know what is going to happen to you. Maybe you transform from a needle to a toothpick. No, toothpick is a little bit bigger. Look at the way I'm breathing. Lord, Father, Lord, have mercy upon my soul. Take control over my life. I think the best situation now is just for me to off my phone, off my camera, go offline and stay offline. That's the best situation. Good night. Bye bye. See you people when next you people see me.
South Africa has done it again. We just keep winning. This is the moment that South Africa won a gold medal at the Dance World Cup in Spain. We came first in the street dance category for the senior dance group section, which is incredible. Our flag just doesn't stop waving. We are winning literally everything. Well done to this dance group. Amazing work. South Africa just keeps literally everything. Well done to this dance group. Amazing work. South Africa just keeps winning.
Imagine stepping onto a global stage in Spain, lights blazing, music pounding, and a crowd holding its breath, and then absolutely owning that stage. That's exactly what Team South Africa did at the 2025 Dance World Cup. In the senior dance group, street dance category, they didn't just perform. They dominated. And now? They're bringing home gold. Let's talk about how huge this moment is. The Dance World Cup is the Olympics of the dance world. Over 60 countries. Thousands of dancers. Every style you can think of, from ballet and jazz to hip-hop and street. And in the midst of all that, our very own South African team rose above the rest to clinch the top spot in one of the most competitive and electrifying categories, street dance. Now, street dance isn't just about looking cool, it's raw, it's rhythmic, it's storytelling with your body. And the South African crew brought all of that. Energy? Check. Precision? Absolutely. But most importantly, they brought soul. They danced like every move had a message, and the world heard it loud and clear. This victory isn't just about medals. It's a moment that reminds the world what South African talent can do. For years, we've seen our dancers shine on platforms like So You Think You Can Dance, TikTok trends, and global music videos. But this right here? A World Championship gold? That's history. And what makes it even more beautiful is that this wasn't just a dance, it was a celebration of culture. The choreography blended classic street elements with South African flair, pantsular footwork, amapiano grooves, even touches of gumboot dancing. It wasn't a copy of what's hot globally. It was us. Unapologetically South African, proudly African, and internationally unstoppable. The judges didn't just score them high for execution. They praised the originality, the creativity, the way the team brought something fresh to the stage without losing the roots of street dance. And if you've ever been in a space where dancers from across the world gather, you know, that kind of praise is rare. It wasn't just about technical skill. It was about connection. The crowd in Spain? They were clapping, cheering, and no joke, some even got up to dance along. That's the kind of energy this team brought. And once that final beat dropped and they hit their last pose, everyone knew. South Africa had won that stage. Back home, the news spread like wildfire. Videos of the performance went viral in minutes. Dance studios around the country lit up with celebration. And for young dancers watching from townships, suburbs, cities, and rural communities, this wasn't just inspiring. It was permission. Permission to dream big. To know that you don't have to leave your identity behind to make it on the world stage. And let's give flowers to the coaches, choreographers, and families behind the scenes too. Winning gold takes more than talent, it takes hours of rehearsals, sacrifices, injuries, sweat, setbacks, and the kind of belief that doesn't waver. It takes a village. And this village showed up, showed out, and showed the world what we're made of. So what's next? Well, with a gold medal now part of their legacy, doors are going to open. International tours. Collaborations. Maybe even Hollywood or global campaigns. But more importantly, this victory plants a flag that says South Africa isn't just watching the world stage, we are the world stage. To every dancer who's ever hit a beat in their bedroom, a dusty community hall, or a packed taxi rank, this win is for you. To every kid who's been told that dancing isn't a real future, think again. South Africa just danced its way to the top of the world, and the rhythm isn't stopping anytime soon. So here's to our champions. The gold medalists. The storytellers in sneakers. You didn't just win. You made the country feel something. You made us move.
Now, certain groups of South Africa's youth in the last 1 month have embarked on a mission to directly confront the ills in their country, which they claim they don't see the local government address. This is currently happening in Johannesburg, and I'm going to show you videos on it in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. The storyline is this. This group of South African men and women moved from one shop to another, demanding the documentation or business permits of the people who run these shops. Mind you, the vast majority of these shops are run by African immigrants in South Africa. So they go from shop to shop, questioning the operators for their residential and work permit and also their business operating permits. And in many cases, ordering the immigrants to remove all their products from their shops, ladies and gentlemen. They do this while quoting South Africa's constitution, specifically where the constitution requires a foreigner to produce evidence of a certain level of capital to register a business in South Africa, or where it pertains to businesses non-citizens are not permitted to engage in. Ladies and gentlemen, just when I thought that was already chaotic, the group doubled down on their actions last week and went to the public clinics as well. They now stand at the entry point of the clinics in Joburg and demand for passports and health insurance before allowing African immigrants specifically to check in. Ladies and gentlemen, as a result, almost all of our African brothers and sisters in Joburg who need medical attendance in the last 1 week who don't have the right documentations and insurances have been turned away. This has finally gotten the attention of the municipal government and the media, since these people don't work with the South African Home Affairs, which is their immigration service. They don't work with them, and they don't also work with the police service. Ladies and gentlemen, so I first of all want you to take a look at the videos and consider the conversation carefully. And let's continue afterwards and share your opinions in the comment section. Let's watch the video.
I want the registration now, and I want your asylum and the title deed for the property at the bank.
Today we are cleaning our streets. Not only the streets, but we're cleaning the country. We've got illegal immigrants operating businesses in the informal market, and SA government know that is not allowed.
According to Immigration Act 13 of 2002, Section 15, a foreign national has to meet a threshold of 5 million to run a business in South Africa. But however, our government and the Cogtat department, they're actually failing us as South Africans, as they are allowing foreign nationals to trade in an informal market. So we, as the citizens of this country, we will enforce the constitution, because of what we are doing right now is within the boundaries of the constitution, and it supports us to do what we are doing right now.
He was given a chance to go and register. He still does not have documents. So with that said, we want the stores shut down. We're closing the store, but nobody must loot. Nobody must loot, please. So this guy here hijacked this house to begin with, and Councillor will tell you more about it because she knows the background story. So the house is hijacked. This guy does not even have business registration documents.
And it is indeed true that this specific property has been hijacked from the owners. I don't know what the agreements were, but when I asked for a title deed, unfortunately they cannot provide a title deed.
We are closing the store. Can you please organize a truck to come fetch your store? We are taking you out here. We are bringing back the owner of this house. So organize a truck, you'll find your guy and everything of yours outside, but we'll make sure that it's safe, no one will loot your stock. On top of that, the spaza shop did not comply in any way. It was not registered, and also it was a health hazard because it was not cleaned. And you know, us, we had past experiences where children die, so this is a concern to us, but unfortunately we are met with a high level of arrogance and disrespect by these foreign nationals who are running spaza shops.
There's always a lot of resistance that we get to see from these guys. They are arrogant, even though they know that they are operating these businesses illegally.
They think that they're going to bribe us like they did with Ntlantla, but unfortunately we're not that type. I won't sell my country for a mere 100,000 or so. I believe in the sovereignty of this country, and I believe in building the country with honesty.
Let them go back and open shops at their own places. We're tired, we're hardcore. It's our humble. Enough is enough.
Actually, these guys are laundering money, and they're laundering the money legally. Where, like, you know, the government can see that these guys are laundering money, but they are not taking note of that. Hence, we as citizens, we took it up on ourselves that we will fight all the injustices that we see here, because of these people are transgressing our constitution.
They are overcharging people since the VAT increase. The shop is disgustingly filthy. When I talk about faulty, I'm talking about those 2 rand sugars and coffees that they're separating. You actually see rat poo in the middle of these things while they're separating this thing.
Our government and the Cognatic department, they're actually failing us as South Africans, as they are allowing foreign nationals to trade in an informal market. So we, as the citizens of this country, we will enforce the constitution, because of what we are doing right now is within the boundaries of the constitution, and it supports us to do what we are doing right now.
We're closing the store, completely closing it off, and we are going to give South Africans in this neighborhood an opportunity. If they want to run the store, we are going to connect them to people that assist with funding for small businesses. They are going, the locals from Ward 18 are the ones who are going to run these businesses going forward.
And now, these are the main pointers of the groups. This is what they are asking. Produce your work permits, produce your business license, and produce your medical license. And this is my take on the issue, ladies and gentlemen. They first of all don't have the legal right to demand for those things, ladies and gentlemen. That is a job designated for government agencies to handle, for which people are being paid in South Africa. So that is totally unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. However, this is a wake-up call in Africa. The issues they are raising are not to be conflated with their actions. These are their issues. Our medical system is choked. Our medical system is flooded with immigrants with no medical insurances, and we, the citizens, therefore don't get the requisite treatments and attentions. These are the arguments. Businesses on the streets and in communities which are reserved for local people are overridden by immigrants. Therefore, our local economy is being run by non-South Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, our government and its corresponding departments are sitting complacent as these things are happening, and therefore we, the people, will take matters into our own hands and begin confronting these issues directly. These are the statements from the people. This is how I understand the whole exercise, and I believe their aim is to ultimately get the government to act on their laws. Ladies and gentlemen, these are their issues, and this is my take. And I'll be honest with you, when we, the African people, don't insist on development in our individual countries, sooner than later, there will be no place for us to run to. When we, the African people, want to take our bags and leave to the next place for what we see there without fighting for it where we are, ladies and gentlemen, very soon we will end up destroying the very few or one place where we can all go to on this continent. It is easy to describe a person as xenophobic when you are on the receiving end. The country South Africa in itself has the highest unemployment rate in all of Africa. 33.5% of their population is jobless, depending on government support and subsidies. The country South Africa itself is the 4th highest in HIV infections in Africa. So obviously they need a lot of the health care. So when the rest of sub-Saharan African countries decide to relocate to that country, we immediately burden their resources. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest with ourselves. We are quick to cry foul and castigate them, but slow to do same in our own countries. What has made these millions of Africans relocate to South Africa, if I may ask you? Let's be honest with ourselves at this point. What has changed all these people from their countries to South Africa? Is it not bad leadership and corruption and crime and war and poverty, ladies and gentlemen? Don't you know they have their fair share of similar problems in their country? South Africa has the highest crime rate in all of Africa. Don't you know this? Don't you know that they also have their problems to deal with as a country? And so, why are so many of us still moving there? What has stopped us from demanding what we want there from where we came from, ladies and gentlemen? This is very hypocritical. And whenever these situations happen, you find some groups, especially in Nigeria, also demanding for South African companies to leave their country. Such hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen. The hypocrisy in these types of equalizations is what holds Africa back. Let me be honest with you. How many South Africans do you know running squatter businesses in your country, in any country for that matter? How then do you equalize, for instance, the business of MTN with illegal immigrants in South Africa? How do you do that? Do you actually believe that MTN is operating in your country without the requisite documentations, ladies and gentlemen? Why is everyone looking for the easiest way out or the most convenient entity to blame, ladies and gentlemen? Why is the target on the low-hanging fruits when we all know that the problem has to do with how things are being badly managed in our own individual countries? When are we going to be honest with ourselves? Instead of focusing on bad governance and policies, we look for scapegoats. Surprisingly, ladies and gentlemen, others raise the argument that the UN or the UNHCR pays countries hosting refugees, and therefore countries make money off of them. Ladies and gentlemen, don't even take my word for it. Go on the internet yourself. See for yourself how that is carried out. The UN or the UNHCR does not provide a set monthly payment or stipend per refugee in any country in Africa. What they do in Africa is provide limited and need-based support through their NGOs to people granted refugee status. Their budget in Africa goes into project and system supports and not necessarily into cash benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, cash benefit may only happen in Europe and some Western countries. And even in Europe, it is not funded by the UNHCR. The financial benefits provided to refugees and asylum seekers in European countries are funded and managed by individual government of European countries. Ladies, you can fact check me. They care more about the lives of people who live within their borders and therefore set aside a budget for it, but not funded by the UN. South Africa's government has something similar to that in all of Africa called Social Relief of Distress, SRD, which is a grant which includes refugees and asylum seekers, and it's just about 370 rands per month, which is actually $20 for eligible individuals. Therefore, that argument of South Africa's government receiving some huge sum of money from the UN to take care of immigrants in South Africa should die down. It is not true. The attention should be concentrated on your own countries, ladies and gentlemen. What has your country been doing for you? What are you also doing for your country, ladies and gentlemen? The pressure should be put on our failed government and not on one particular country. It's totally wrong. As it stands now, the situation of the blockade by the activists is still going on, and South African government will have to intervene before it turns deadly. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest with one another and develop together. Let's lay the axe to the root where the problems originate, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for taking time to watch this one. And I'll
All right, guys. First of all, I want to say amazing congratulations. Congratulations to the South African dance group that won this medal, this award. Oh my God, world record, guys. And you see, the whole internet is quiet and calm. But best believe that if it was won by Nigerians, the internet would have been on fire. When you hear fire, guys. That's one thing I love about you guys, South Africans. And guys, well done. It's a well-deserved award, well-deserved win, well-deserved world recognition. See the way, in fact, I'm definitely going to learn the dance moves. I'm definitely going to learn the anthem. I will sure come back and display my guys. In case you're not hearing or seeing me again, just know that Nepal is taking delight. And I want to say, what are your thoughts based on what this Ghanaian man has just said? For me, I think it's absolutely the truth, nothing but the bitter truth. It's high time we as countries go back to the drawing board, especially Nigerians, and do the needful by fixing our country, just like you said. All countries in Africa, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, name it, Nigeria, any country whatsoever should go back and fix their country. It's enough. South Africa is for South Africans, and South Africans should be treated as the owners of the country and not slaves, not refugees. Nothing but the bitter truth. I love what the team are doing in taking actions against illegal foreigners, against their own treatment and services that is supposed to be rendered to them free of charge. But no, South foreigners are now prioritized. Who does that? Where does that happen? Anyways, guys, I can go on and on because at this point I'm livid, but I just want to take it easy and believe that it is hurting and painful to South Africans as a people and as a country. That's why when I see all these things, I expose it so that the world will know. So it's not about South Africans as xenophobia. Now the world has come to know. That's what it should be. Well done to this Ghanaian man who has broken this. And yes, this is a movement and a mission, and it must be accomplished. So guys, leave your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you do, and share it for more exposition. And if this is the first time here, please don't make it your last. Stay tuned, stay glued. More videos coming your way, I promise. And I will see you in my next one. This is coming from your girl, your one and only Tando, aka Life of an African Queen. And I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.